The next story deals with Disney. Now remember, Disney is really trying to get into that streaming business, and they will, and they are. And the thing that's going to hurt Netflix is that Disney has got a vault full of content as compared to Netflix. Disney bans ads for Netflix. Walt Disney's Cold War with Netflix over streaming is heating up, with Disney banning Netflix advertising across its television networks. So think about it. Disney has ABC, Disney has ESPN. I think that and they may have somebody else, I'm not sure, but I know they have at least those two, and they are now banning ads for Netflix. They carry a big stick, Disney does. All right, that's a headwind for Netflix, which spent $1.8 billion on advertising. So I look at it this way. If Netflix is willing to spend that kind of money, I would say Disney should take that money and run. But Disney is like, listen, I got more content than you have, Netflix. And you know something? I don't need your little stinking money. Don't need your stinking money. Badges? Who needs stinking badges? Money? We don't need your stinking money. And Disney is really going into that space. And Netflix is already losing market share, with a lot of people canceling their subscriptions to Netflix. I, for one, am not one of those people. Joe, you have Netflix?
I am.
See, Joe, you going to cancel?
We'll see.
All right, so Joey say you'll see. It really is a possibility?
Yeah. I mean, I think Disney's going to have a lot of good stuff.
So Joey thinks that Disney's going to,
It's going to work in my household.
All right, well, you got children, so Disney will work pretty much in your household. But nonetheless, Disney's got a lot of content that they can stream at any given time, and I think that will definitely hurt Netflix. Earlier this year, Disney had decided it wouldn't accept ads from any rival services, but has so far found compromises with every company but Netflix, because they know that Netflix is the big fish in the sea. All right, the big fish in the sea. I'm thinking that the story behind Disney, and that Disney is really taking on Netflix, more and more people are jumping into the Disney stock, which is now people are willing to pay a premium to own Disney, especially if they feel that the battle going on between them and Netflix, and if Disney comes out on top, Disney stock could soar. All right, so let's look at the fundamentals of Disney though. RV, the upside potential, not nearly as good. Now, I not only have Disney in here, I do have Netflix, all part of the same story. I look at the upside potential on Walt Disney, not as good as the upside potential on Netflix. But if I'm looking at the relative safety, this stock, Disney stock, is a lot more safer than Netflix because it's been around a lot longer. It's not a fly-by-night company. Netflix is relatively new compared to Disney. Disney has a nice safety factor. Netflix is above 1, but not as strong as Disney. What's hurting them both? Disney is in a downtrend by way of RT. The stock is trending down. And Netflix also down. Now, notice that both of them are hold recommendations. Also, keep in mind, look at Disney's earnings growth rate. Disney's earnings growth rate they're growing their rate at a negative clip, whereas Netflix is really blowing it out the water compared to all of these stocks on here. They're growing their earnings at a rate of 26% a year. That is huge. All right, just keeping that in mind. And talking about what Disney owns, Paul says Disney owns ABC, ESPN, Touchstone Pictures, Marvel, Lucasfilm, A&E, the History Channel, and Lifetime. That's a lot of stake in the entertainment business. Thank you very much for that, Paul. Thank you for that. So Disney's got a lot of money. Think about all of those things that Paul just typed in. Disney's got a ton of money, whereas Netflix is primarily a streaming platform on content that people make up, try to make up on the fly. Now, have they had great success with some of the content? They sure have. But Disney's got the vault of stuff. All right, so watch that. Disney's trying to make a move to at least possibly move that earnings growth rate to the positive with putting out that content, something to definitely keep your eye on. I'm going to take a look at both of those graphs for you. Let's view the stock graph. All right, there's Disney. Going to put this on a 3-month graph. There's that earnings. All right, so Disney's getting affected, which is why maybe going after Netflix and going after that streaming business can turn the business around, right? The price is falling below the 20-day exponential moving average. Earnings is falling as well. This could be the means to get them out of the doldrums, even though Disney is a more established name, has been around for quite some time, but even good companies go through bad times. Going after Netflix, going into that space that there's a lot of money to be made could definitely turn them around, right? Let's go over to Netflix, on the other hand, still trending down, but look at their earnings. So even with, and you know where that earnings comes from? Even though they may be losing subscribers, they've got a ton of subscribers that are paying. And guess what? They bumped up the subscription rate, and people like me are still paying it. All right, Joey is still paying it. You know why? Because the content is good, but you know something? Joey is thinking about maybe taking that off the table and moving to Disney. Why? To conform to his household. He's got 3 kids, awesome kids too. He's an okay dad, but he's got awesome kids. And you know something? That may be more reflective of what needs to be done in their household. Notice that Netflix, by way of the story, look at it. It just bumped above that 20-day exponential moving average. So if I had a choice for either one, right now I'd be more in tune with Netflix right now, as it is nicely moving up off of this level of the low. I love the earnings per share is growing. Let's go back to Disney, not as much. But this information of going after Netflix could turn them around. It hasn't happened yet. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. And Disney is more diversified, says Jay. I agree with that. They are. But they got to get on track to start moving the price of the stock in the right direction, and they need to start growing their earnings. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Now, if you're new to the software or would like refresher information about the software, click on this Getting Started video right here. Thanks to all of your input, here's a YouTube video that we think would be perfect for you. Click right here. If nothing else, folks, just hit the subscribe button right here.